My wife called me ugly in front of her rich friends on her own birthday, then ditched me with the bill for 15 people. As she swept out, she tossed, "A man like you should be grateful I even dated you." I smiled, paid, and waited. By morning, 139 missed calls. The night started with me ironing my blazer twice, because sometimes you're not smoothing fabric, you're silencing the voice that says you don't belong. I brought white lilies. She'd once said they made rooms feel expensive. The restaurant was marble, gold leaf, and clinically quiet, perfect for people who treat waiters like scenery. Her friends were assembled like props: Sloane with diamond handcuffs, Armand the humble brag landlord, Victor who calls every server champ, Bianca draped in silk, and Talia, who believes life only happens if it's filmed. I took my usual seat at the far end, symbolic exile. Ria arrived 20 minutes late with an air kiss that missed my cheek on purpose. "Looking good, ugly," she chirped. Laughter. Then came the little cuts, a target tie joke, a toast to freedom and finer things, and the bill, 3 pages, slid to me like a used napkin. When she left with her entourage, the perfume lingered longer than their kindness. I walked 37 blocks home. Walking turns insults into clarity. By the time I reached my apartment, the sentence, "A man like you should be grateful," had changed species, from humiliation to information. I stuck the total 847.32 on my mirror and started doing the real math. 2 years of emergencies, work expenses, and you're paying, right? I opened a folder called RIA Reality Check and began collecting. Receipts, transfers labeled emergency contribution, screenshots of her posts from girls' dinners that were bottle service for 15, always on my card. Then I called the only 2 people who never lied to me, my sister Amma and my friend Rafi. We turned my kitchen table into a war room. Rafi cross-referenced every charge with time-stamped posts. Spa days to prep for clients were champagne facials with Talia. A client car rental was a weekend in Napa. $5,000 to save Ren's business bought swan-shaped ice sculptures. "If you want this to land," Rafi said, "don't shout, show." He built a clean slide deck, dates, charges, screenshots. The last slide totaled my investment in love, $39,964. The restaurant manager, David Chow, called to apologize for the incident. I asked for an itemized receipt. It arrived with surgical detail, seat numbers, timestamps, substitutions, 3 bottles of Cristal for Sloane, 2 steaks sent back by Victor for sport. Ria approving a $340 birthday tasting flight at 8:15 p.m. The bill hit my place setting at 9:45. Payment processed at 10 hours, 15 minutes of me alone in a silent theater. I froze my card. Then Nini, Ria's mother, called to downgrade my public execution to a minor social awkwardness. She needed me at Sunday family brunch. I complete Ria's brand of stability. I said I'd think about it. What I meant was showtime. Sunday, their conservatory was staged like a magazine spread. Aji, Ria's grandmother, patted my cheek and asked if I was eating. She's the only one who ever asked me real questions. Ria arrived flawless, with Victor and Talia in tow, and toasted to shedding what no longer serves, smiling at me like I was a coat she'd outgrown. Dessert came with rose petals and gold leaf. Then Nini cued family updates. I handed out folders instead. Page 1, Saturday's receipt. Page 2, a timeline of charges paired with Ria's posts. Page 3, the spreadsheet. Restaurants 12,847, entertainment 8,394. Personal services, $6,023. Emergencies, $11,500. Total $30,964, no speeches, just facts. The room went museum quiet. Suraj's eyebrows climbed. Nini's smile cracked. Ria reached for my wrist. I moved my hand. Aji finished reading and laid her palm over mine. "Enough," she said. That night the phone started. By dawn, 139 missed calls. Voicemails charted the whole cycle. Rage, "You pathetic worm." Bargaining, "We both embarrassed each other." Be an adult. Threats, "Ria's got important friends." And finally, exhaustion. "I loved you. I brought you into my world." Her world had always been an invoice. Gideon's law firm called next. They'd reviewed documents about work Ria stole from Mira, a junior she'd pushed out. Mira was offered her job back with a raise and credit. Ria's employment was under review. Translation, consequences. I boxed Ria's things, clothes, creams, the yoga mat that accused me from my closet, and left them with the doorman for pickup. I emailed a tidy repayment schedule for personal charges, 7 years at $400 a month. Not because I expect it paid, but because paper is stronger than spin. Then I drove to Aji's. I had one more piece of business, an engagement ring in a velvet box. I'd bought it 3 weeks earlier, when I still believed endurance would turn cruelty into kindness. "It's beautiful," Aji said, studying the modest stone. She would have said it was too small. She would have posted it as a starter ring, I admitted. Aji closed the box. "And you would have apologized, promised an upgrade, and apologized again." I raised that girl. I love her. I am not blind. We drank tea under her oak tree, jasmine in the air, forgiveness in the shade. "What will you do now?" she asked. "Live," I said. "Eat hot food. Talk to people who don't think my existence is a favor." That evening, Mira texted, "Corner office. 40% raise, a boss who reads emails." "Keep your records," I replied. "Tell the truth. If you ever need a reference for being a decent human," she wrote back, "I've got documentation." I returned the ring. I sold the gym membership Ria liked for the towels. I canceled shared accounts and slept 8 hours straight for the first time in 2 years. And the lilies? I left them by the pond in the park. Not as a gesture to Ria, just because beautiful things deserve to exist without auditioning. If you want the short version, my wife paraded me as the punchline, stuck me with a $847 bill, and told me to be grateful. I gathered receipts of money and behavior, showed them to the only audience that mattered, and stepped out of her performance. The morning after, 139 missed calls. By then, I'd already learned the thing she never did. The truth doesn't shout. It arrives on paper right on time, and then it leaves you free.